Hmm. LeadCode, HackerRank, Codility. Why do I have to know all these platforms just to get a job? Hey, Jordan here. Are you a programmer? Are you a software engineer? And are you thinking about getting a new job? Or maybe you're trying to get into the industry, you're trying to get your first job in tech. Well, there are a lot of companies that are now using some form of algorithms in their process. And though we may say the process is broken, the fact is companies are still using these processes. And if you want to join these companies, it is important for you to know what platforms they're using. I want to highlight five platforms, only five this time, that companies are using that you may want to familiarize yourself with. And I'll actually go through a little bit of points about each so that you can use that for your research. Number one is Codility. Codility is the first kind of algorithm platform that I've used. The first time I had a job that asked me to do this kind of coding thing, algorithm, etc. I already was in tech for maybe 6 years, and I've never done this type of thing because I wasn't really actively looking. And when I got this link and I checked it out, I was like, this is pretty interesting. Because what Codility does is it provides a set of questions that the company can choose from, or maybe the company can provide their own questions. And it provides a platform for people to go in to do this timed algorithm. And there are benchmarks that are already there, as well as you can add your own test cases. So you can do your algorithm, you can test against their test cases, you can add your own test cases, and you can see the performance of your algorithm. So for this platform, it is very important that you take into consideration the performance and the complexity of your code. Because I've written code in Codility that just crashed because the code was just not efficient. So before you go onto Codility, if it's your first time, I would say check it out, do the tour, maybe do a couple practice questions, ensure that you understand how to write your test cases before you jump in. The second one I want to tell you about is HackerRank. HackerRank, in my opinion, is very similar to Codility. It focuses on the optimization of your code, in that when you do your algorithms, you are trying to ensure that it is done in a particular time or with a particular complexity. Again, even though the UIs are a little bit different, I would say the premise is the same. So take your time, do the tour, check out the website. I believe they also offer a practice, so do that practice. And before you sit down to do that, to do your algorithms or to do the exercise that your company gives you, make sure you are familiar with the platform. You will waste a lot of time sometimes doing an assessment when you are just clicking, trying to figure out stuff. And in real life, what happened to me once, I was using a platform by a very, very well-known company. It had 3 questions and I accidentally clicked submit when I was on the first one. And when I contacted the company, they told me, well, since I did it already, I would have to wait 6 months. I thought the UI was very non-intuitive, and at least it should have asked me, are you sure you want to submit, before it allowed me to submit. So yes, please take your time to check out the UI to make sure you're familiar with it before you sit down to actually do the code. So that's the second one. The second one is HackerRank. Number 3, LeadCode. Even though LeadCode, I don't know if companies are actually using LeadCode now, as in using LeadCode, the interface, but LeadCode is a good resource for you to go and to look at questions, look at different complexity of questions, look at questions that are well known, and use it to just do your practice. The good thing about LeadCode is that each question that's there, you may see solutions in different languages. So let's say you're doing the end queen problem. For example, you may see a solution in Java, you'll see a solution in C, you'll see a solution in Go, and you get to look at different solutions made by other people and tweak your code and tweak your implementation as you practice. Many companies, they will actually pull a question from LeadCode and give it to you in a Whiteboard environment. So you may not be using a platform itself, but they may pull questions from LeadCode. So this is why, in my opinion, it is a very good platform to learn. Number 4 is CodePad. when I just started using CodePad maybe many years back, the first time I went into CodePad, it wasn't the product it was today. It was for whiteboarding. You go in, you do your algorithms. It's almost, some companies allow you to do more like a pseudocode format. Some companies would ask you to do something that would compile and that could run, and you could actually do it in CodePad and then go and run it in another environment, in another IDE. But now CodePad has come a long way. You can run your tests, you can run your code, everything. So CodePad is the next thing. It doesn't offer the bells and whistles that HackerRank and Codility would offer, or even LeadCode, but it is, for me, I think it's lightweight, it's easy to use. It even offers recording, so as the interview goes through, they can record it and go back and review to ensure that they're analyzing your solution properly, and they can jot down the appropriate feedback. So CodePad, you can check it out. Many interviewers or many companies will send you the CodePad link before the actual interview. So they will send it in an invite. And even though you are not going to see the question beforehand, you get an opportunity to click on the link and to look what CodePad is about. So I would say go and check that out. Fifth and last is Woven. So this is one of the last platforms I got introduced to, and I find this pretty cool. So what this platform is that, and I would imagine that the company can choose what type of questions that they use, but it does offer some form of screening and assessment, in that the companies can choose what type of question, what kind of assessment the company can give to you, the interviewee, and then you can go through your time. It is timed as well. What I like about Woven is that it's not fully automated, in that the answers are not just run through and say, oh, this didn't compile, or this missed the test cases, etc., and give you a results right at the end. With Woven, real persons actually go in and they review your responses, and I guess they would have a list, or some benchmark around the questioning, and they will give you a score based on the things that you have highlighted or outlined, or you've actually done within your code. So this one is not just run, compile, pass, fail. It's a little bit more it's a little bit more, there's a little bit more for a human touch that someone actually goes in. So yes, these are 5 platforms. It's not an exhaustive list. It's just 5 that I want to bring up today. 5 platforms that you, as an engineer trying to move into another job, another company who may use algorithm exercises, it may warrant you to go and learn about them. Of course, there are many companies that don't use algorithms. They use pair programming, they use take-home tests. And if that's your preference, you can. I would imagine you would have no need to learn these platforms. And in the further video, I think I'll want to dig in a little bit about my opinions on take-home tests, as well as take-home tests versus on-site whiteboarding, because I believe that there should be options for people who like one or you like the other, but of course I do have my personal thoughts and personal preferences as well. All right, so thanks again, thanks for watching. Jordan here. If there's a specific topic that you'd love to hear from me, just let me know and I'll try to do a video on that next time. All right, bye.